All right. Thank you for joining us for This Podcast Has a Table, our second episode now. I would like to go ahead and introduce Tad and Jacob again, and we're going to talk about sports in the ACC and what's going on right now.
And SEC.
And the SEC, yeah.
For clarification, Dakota is going to be our moderator today. We're going to debate college football playoff, and he is probably the best impartial judge for this because he does not give a single shit about what happens.
All this is alien to me, and I could really care none at all, actually. None at all. So that's the change up for today.
Good. Perfect moderator for this.
Hit me with all your BS.
Jacob, I'll let you go first. Give me a little intro about where your bias is and where you stand on the college playoff as it looks today.
Man, okay. But honestly, my biggest problem is just Alabama getting in over, honestly, the three other teams that could have got in. I get the argument of South Carolina, but Alabama did not deserve it over Miami or Ole Miss. So
why is that? Why do you feel like they're so much more deserving?
Well, if you just go by record, we're 10-2. So Miami's 10-2.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
really
Alabama's 9-3. Ole Miss and South Carolina are both 9-3.
That's an advantage there. So they got in and you didn't, right?
Yes.
Is that what the anger is from you?
So we didn't deserve to get in. Miami didn't deserve to get in, but Alabama didn't deserve to get in. I believe more. So
okay. So you still feel more deserving in that spot?
Yes, 100%.
And obviously you feel separately.
Well, here's the thing. So you bring up records. It's interesting. I was looking up the FCS standings. Montana State is 12-0. Do they deserve to get in because they have a better record?
Are they a Power 5 conference?
Do they have a better record?
Are they in a Power 5
It's just weird
conference?
that we would bring up record whenever it doesn't
Okay.
matter. It's about quality of teams, would you not say?
Okay, yeah. So let's list records of Power 5 conference schools. So before we
Okay.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
get into
What
the
about strength of
deets.
schedule? What's Miami's strength of schedule?
It's like 45, I think. 40,
What's
something like that.
What's Alabama's?
It's probably like 11 or something.
Probably like 11. So top 15. So they're playing tougher teams generally through the year.
Tougher teams compared to preseason rankings, which have like 7 SEC teams ranked in the preseason. So
You
like
don't think they account for as the season goes?
they do? I'm just saying those preseason rankings matter. Are you arguing that the preseason rankings don't matter? Okay.
Here's where
Okay.
I'll back you up.
So strength of schedule is started on that. I'm just for like information. Okay.
I'll
All right.
back you up a little bit.
Okay.
Because me and producer Taylor talked about this. Preseason rankings are kind of bullshit.
No, they are bullshit.
They're kind of bullshit.
They're 100% bullshit.
I don't think you should have rankings until
I agree.
week 3. But let's be
Or
honest.
6.
Let's be honest. That
Oh, you
doesn't
said
drive.
6?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know more about that. Okay.
Oh, wait, what now? What do you want to know more
keep saying
about?
what you're saying.
No.
me
So
a point.
preseason rankings is just what committees and the press will think that these teams look like based off players that have either graduated, are going to the pros, what they're losing and what they're gaining, pretty much. So they start to make predictions of this. But the only reason they do this is because, college football is what any football or any sport is. It's entertainment. So therefore, you got to drive clicks and you got to drive viewership, and this is what gets the people talking, is you get the preseason talking, and then that way we can start trying to make matches that sound more exciting, that gets
So
more
you
viewers.
think 3 weeks is a good enough time? Because he said 6 weeks.
No, I think 3 weeks you can start to evaluate. You can start to have more of the discussion they try to have in the preseason at week 3, because at least you get to see the teams play.
Well, what do you think they need to prove within 2 extra weeks? Or double the weeks there.
I mean, you're gonna have a lot of teams that are 3-0 after 3 weeks.
But they're going to do that anyway. You're going to have rankings whether you started at week 3 or whatever. At least at week 3, they've played like 3 games. You can kind of see how the teams are starting to kind of show chemistry and things like
So
that.
You don't
And
agree
then-
with that at all. So no 6 weeks.
I like the hype better with a 3 week,
I
because
think
you can at least
a quicker
see some
thing there. I agree
little
with 3
turnaround.
weeks.
Yeah. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. But playoff committee doesn't come out with their stuff. You don't start getting college football playoff rankings till like week 7 or week 8.
Yeah, but what do they go
much more-
off of when they say strength of schedule and stuff? And some of those preseason rankings.
Usually AP.
Okay,
It's
and
usually
preseason
AP stuff,
rankings
and
matter.
coaches poll. Coaches are also insightful about what teams they've played and what teams they think play them well, and they also have rankings that are very similar to the press.
Okay, I'm not arguing with that.
No. I'm just saying. So an earlier press poll, maybe a little bit later, like week 3, would be fine, and then you get what the playoff does now. The committee, they don't do theirs till much later anyway.
Yeah, and what do they go off of when they do like strength of schedule and stuff? Those preseason rankings matter. That's why.
But they do it. But they do it based off current. But okay, like Florida State, for example.
Are you saying they shouldn't matter?
I'm saying they shouldn't matter as much. No, it should
You're
be.
saying they're too weighted. They
Yes.
have too much pull. In the
Yes.
I don't think
100%.
they're as weighted as you're giving them credit for later in the season. And Florida State's a good example of that. No one would consider Florida State a good win based off preseason rankings. Florida State won what, 1 or 2 games this year?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but these preseason rankings are gonna vault Alabama, Ole Miss, these 9-3 SEC teams to look better than a 10-2 Miami team just because of the wins they have over other SEC teams that were ranked ahead of them to begin with the season.
I'll give you my main argument. So he brings up a 10-2 Miami team over a 9-3 Alabama team. As I say, well, we're ranked. We can't help our schedule. Why are we being punished for this? I'll tell you why they're being punished for it. And this is what I base my standard off of, and I think I've told you this before.
Well, it is a competition.
It is a competition.
Somebody's going to win.
And I'll tell you how the competition can be fared out. If these teams were to play 10 times, who would win more than 5 of those games? And I think 9 out of 10 of people would agree it would be Alabama.
I don't agree at all.
100% would be Alabama.
Did you,
9
I guess you didn't watch the Oklahoma game. You probably didn't watch that game.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay, that's
weird.
I did. That's weird.
I also watched
weird.
the Miami-Syracuse game.
Yeah, that we lost by 4 points. So
After what was your lead in that game?
Yeah, 21 points.
21 points.
Probably wouldn't do that to Alabama, right?
You're up 21 points to an 8-3 ACC school, and then you let them.
Would they
come back
finish?
and beat
Oh,
you.
9-3. Okay, 9-3. They're 9-3.
Okay. ACC still. I still stand by that if you put an SEC team in the ACC, such as Tennessee or any of these other teams, they would score 10 more points a game against an ACC defense.
So you're
That's
saying that every
hilarious.
time, and he's
That's
saying
hilarious.
not. He's saying that.
I'm saying a majority of wins, if you were to put Bama against Miami, Bama wins that game at least 6 out of 10 times.
No, they don't.
100%.
All right, so that's the whole debate.
That's the debate right there. But I'll give even more.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Well, I'll give you a basic argument too. You can just compare SEC records to the fucking excuse me. I'll stop swearing for right now. We'll bring up swearing later. To the ACC.
We're not
How many more
passionate
games
enough
did the SEC win over ACC schools, even your better schools? Our 5th or 6th best team beat your other team that's in the ACC title game. South Carolina. They're not even one of the best schools. They're 5 or 6. That's your 2nd best team.
Okay, so South Carolina was one of the teams debated to get into that last spot in the playoffs. Didn't get in.
And who they lose
Alabama
to?
got it.
Why did Bama get it? Because they beat South Carolina.
They did beat South Carolina.
There you go.
Okay, Clemson.
Simple.
Clemson's been like number 4 in the ACC like all year. So that's why they're not the best ACC school. Like that's what I'm telling you.
You're right. They're right now the 2nd best. But what if they win it all? Are they not obviously the best ACC school?
I mean, we lost to Syracuse, so I guess we shouldn't have lost to Syracuse. But
You shouldn't have. Was this an away game for South Carolina?
I don't know where they played. Honestly, I don't know.
I was going to see where
It was
they
a
played
close
it.
game.
I think it was at Clemson.
It was a close game though.
No, it was close. Listen, and your best argument, to be fair, was the Georgia Tech-Georgia game. But again, the result is what matters. And the result for SEC versus ACC this year has been what? SEC on top still every time.
Okay, I mean, if you're going to use that argument, we demolished Florida. Miami demolished Florida.
That's your
41-17. I think that's what the score was. 41-17.
First game of the year.
Okay, yeah, and we demolished
Early
an SEC
season
team
versus later
that was
season.
that was supposed to
Overall
be a good
versus
SEC
overall.
team.
I'm just saying, if you compare bare bones to bare bones, SEC still comes
How
out
did
ahead.
Tennessee play Florida? Was it pretty close?
It's always close. It's a rivalry game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all are pretty good in the playoffs, right? Tennessee. Obviously, you're a Tennessee fan, so y'all are pretty good in the playoffs.
We are.
Obviously.
We're in the we're in the playoffs
and struggled with Florida. And Miami demolished Florida. Okay, that's weird. Okay,
first game of the year.
Another game, Miami played USF. We demolished USF. It took Alabama until the 4th quarter to get up on USF. I just some examples there for you.
Some exampents there for you. That's very interesting.
Alabama.
I believe
also,
you beat Virginia Tech by it looks
both
like
of you
talk
talking over
about
each
4
other.
points. It looks like who did Virginia Tech lose to? About the same time, just a couple games before.
Yeah, barely lost to Vandy. Let's
Oh,
see.
Vandy.
Vandy
That's
also
interesting.
beat Alabama.
That's interesting.
Vandy also beat Alabama, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and then we
6-6
demolished Vandy.
They about beat Texas, your SEC team that's going to the conference championship.
I still stand by my argument that if it was 10 games, Alabama beat y'all over 5 plus 10 games.
All right.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
Absolutely.
I still want to know your argument for that.
My argument is very simple, that Alabama as an overall team compared to your all's god-awful defense would beat you all more than 5 games out of 10.
All right, Tad.
Yeah.
Let him say it.
Go ahead.
I want to hear it.
What?
Okay, so in opposition to what he just said, tell him why he's wrong. I want to hear it. Why do you think
give me
they
a
would...
strong argument for the ACC. We'll go more into the conference stuff like this because there's some of it I agree with you on. But as far as the difference between the ACC and the SEC is still at least a half tier to a tier above the ACC in talent.
Don't agree at all.
100%.
How many people you think is going to agree with you versus him? What do you think it's weighted for out there?
Oh, definitely SEC.
More SEC fans in the world than
Yeah,
That's also
any.
true. We have more pool.
Yeah.
I just think records should matter, and I think losing to a team by
Hey, listen,
okay,
man.
I didn't get to talk
Listen,
there. That's
man.
weird.
I think
isn't it?
records
Go ahead.
should.
Go ahead.
Hey, he's right about that.
I think records should matter. I think losing to 2 teams on the road by a combined 9 points is not worse than losing to a bad Oklahoma team by 21 points. So and losing 2 other games on top of that. So that's pretty
Records
much,
should matter. Montana State should be in the college playoff. They went undefeated this year.
Did they? In the Power 5 conference? In a Power 5 conference?
Oh, no, just
Okay,
records.
okay,
Just records
okay.
matter, dude.
Okay, so
records matter. Nothing else matters.
So
Strength of schedule doesn't
so if
matter.
Tusculum goes undefeated, they should get in, right?
I can't. According to your argument, yeah.
I just told you Power 5 conferences.
You
should
said
matter.
records matter, dude.
In Power 5 conferences.
Okay,
yes.
so if Boise State loses, they should get in over you guys. 2-loss team, they made it to their conference championship, Power 5.
maybe they got an argument.
Do they have a better argument than Miami?
I don't think so. No.
There you go.
I don't think so.
So you don't even believe your own argument.
I do. I'm just saying they have an argument. I think Miami's
Boise
season
State's
is
only
weighted
loss
better.
has been to the
Oregon.
top number 1 team in the country, and it's only by
Yeah.
like 3 points.
That's what
So
I'm
they
telling
drop
you,
one game by UNLV to 3 points. I would put them in over Miami by that logic.
They have an argument. I'd put them in over Alabama. So for sure, 100%.
By your logic, I'd agree with you.
Not by yours.
No, my logic is that if they were to play Alabama 10 times the same as Miami, they would lose at least more than 5 of those games.
If Alabama played like they did against Oklahoma, Alabama.
That's
would lose.
fine. They can play like they did against Oklahoma 4 times, but they're not going to do it out
Was
of
this
10
the last
times.
loss? Was Oklahoma the last loss? in this?
Three
it was
games
their
ago.
last loss.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was
it was
3
their
games
last
ago.
loss.
Okay.
They won their final game, but they've also beat quality teams. They've also beat a very good Georgia team who I'll go ahead and this will probably be out by the time that game's over because it's this weekend. I think Georgia will still beat Texas again. Georgia's one of those teams that they will just weirdly show up when they're like, "Oh, we need to play."
Yeah, let's talk about Georgia. So
Let's
Georgia
talk about
Tech, an ACC team, took Georgia to 8 overtimes in Athens
I
at
actually
Georgia.
Seen that? Where
Yep.
was I at? Was I here for that?
You were here for that.
Yeah.
No, you were here before. Did you didn't
la-
stay?
oh,
yeah,
oh,
you didn't
yeah, I
stay
went
for the
home.
last part of it. Though.
Yeah, I was like, how do
So
I remember that?
So Dakota, the SEC is so much better, right? So a mid ACC team, 7-5 Georgia Tech, the mid ACC, they took Georgia, probably arguably one of the best SEC teams, to 8 overtimes at Georgia.
And they were an ACC team, right?
ACC, and it was at Georgia. If it was at Georgia Tech, you give them 3 points, Georgia Tech wins that game. So that's
Point number 1, they lost. Results matter. Point number 2.
if officiating was watching the
Point number
game,
2,
they would have won. So
Point number 2, rivalry game. All rivalry teams get up for a rivalry game. I know that sounds maybe foreign to someone that
It
doesn't.
is. I don't know
That,
what you're talking
that doesn't.
That makes a lot of
roll
logical
in-
sense,
roll in
don't
these
it?
areas though. But the point is that most rivalry teams, you can have a bad rivalry team, but a big rivalry, they usually will play them close. Happens just about every year. You can even take some of the bad Tennessee years with Alabama, and we're only losing by maybe a touchdown, 3 points sometimes. And that's been years that Alabama's won the whole title.
So close.
And Tennessee has been horrible and not even made a bowl game.
I know, they're just so close to everything they need to do, but they just can't do it. Right?
Yet.
Okay.
Same with Miami. So close, but can't make the playoffs.
losing 2 games on the road by combined 9 points is not worse than losing to Oklahoma by 21.
It is pretty bad
2 good ACC
when
teams.
you give
2
up-
good ACC teams.
when you give up
2 good ACC teams.
a 21-point lead and you are supposed to be a playoff team.
And you lose by 21 to a 6-6 Oklahoma team. How are you a playoff team? I'll use that same argument, buddy. Like,
Are you going to rip off the team?
No. Do I look like a Bama fan?
no, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying too. I told you where my
Hey, I
argument
can wear a
lies.
sports shirt too, man.
The
We
ar-
didn't,
the
we didn't
argument
lose
lies.
by, we didn't lose by 21.
The argument lies simply.
We didn't lose by 21. So I don't know why you keep bringing up 21. We lost
No,
by, if you want to
you
say what
lost.
we lost by 4.
No,
So,
and I'm
okay.
telling you, you put any ACC team in the SEC team, again, going by the same logic I'm trying to lay out here, each one of those teams have at least an extra 1 or 2 losses too. Miami would have had a 3-4 loss team if they were in the SEC team this year.
Okay,
I know
so
you don't
think
believe
so.
that. That's so
I don't
Let me
funny.
ask
think
one
so.
question then.
That's so true.
And I think Syracuse would beat a lot of
So
SEC
true,
teams,
dude.
which is crazy.
That's fine. They'd probably be like 9-10.
let's get some information.
Probably be
here.
like,
I need
what?
to know something.
Like 9 or 10 in the SEC.
They might win 9 games in the SEC.
So
yeah.
South Carolina's not winning no 9 games in the SEC. They won 9 games in the ACC, brother. They'd probably win maybe
Syracuse.
7
I'm
in
about
the
to
SEC.
unplug you both.
Syracuse.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so last year, who was where? Where were they at? Need to know that.
All right.
Is this the same
No, let me-
team? Who was changed out?
Let me give you a rundown of the last why this and I get why his frustration is the way it is as a Miami fan and as an ACC fan. The last 14 years, the dominance has been the SEC.
It's been dominance. It's not the same as it's been the last 2 or 3 years though.
Hold
That's
on.
why I'm
I'm going to pull up a history record for you. Jacob, if you want to make
Are
your
you trying to
argument,
kill
you go
his
right
hope?
ahead.
Is that what it is?
I'm trying to
No,
bury it. Bury it with Miami football where it is right now as terms of playoffs.
Listen, dude, they're below the sea level, so it doesn't take much.
They have drowned. My point is,
Oh,
you
sorry,
all
sorry.
listen. Your anger should not be with the playoff committee, and you know it. Your anger should be with Miami football giving up a 21-point lead. You can't do that.
Well,
no, this is why I like
Understand.
the 12-team playoffs is because yes, you have to. It's not just all about the committee. Like you have chances to like if we didn't lose to Syracuse, we did it to ourselves. We put it in the hands of our end of the season in the playoff committee's hands. Like,
You did. That's what I'm
So,
saying.
but-
You can't leave it up to that chance. Okay. I'm going to read you this, Dakota. This
And,
goes.
and one more
Okay.
question too
Go ahead.
before we get into that. So the point spread for everything, does the point total equal more for Georgia versus Florida over the whole thing?
the quality wins equal more for Georgia.
what do you mean for what? Okay. What do you mean?
Strength of schedule, just wins they have. They
Over
have it
what?
over probably better teams.
Like score
And
point
what most people would consider.
and everything.
I know.
too.
What are you
So,
talking about? What?
He's talking about quality. He's saying like point spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point spread.
Okay.
No, now listen. Now point spread's not in your all's favor. You all have close games every game because your defense sucks.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And there it is.
as a Tennessee,
We haven't lost by more than, like, 5
listen,
points to a team,
Listen,
though.
listen. I'll meet you halfway here. I'm not going to argue point spread from a Tennessee fan. We don't win by a lot of points. Our defense gets it done. Our offense struggles, and then we somehow manage to win the game. Point
Yeah,
is, we win the game.
Yeah, we really didn't beat a team bad other than the only SEC team we played this year, and we killed them. So that's weird, isn't it?
in the first game of the season.
Hey, so
But preseason rankings.
A team,
don't-
no, hey, Dakota,
What does
Dakota.
it matter?
Oh,
Okay.
it shouldn't matter. It
Stop for a
shouldn't.
minute.
Dakota.
Let's hear Jacob here.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear him
So
out.
we beat a Florida team, killed a Florida team that beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat Alabama. So I don't understand. How does this make any sense? Help us make sense.
That's what we're gonna get to eventually. Here, we're gonna have some sense. Somebody's not gonna be happy tonight.
Oh, it's Miami. They're out in the playoffs. They're already unhappy.
We're already
no, it's gonna
unhappy.
be somebody at this table.
We're already
no,
unhappy.
His
We're
best
already
claim to a win is a 7-5 Florida team. They are ranked 1, 2, 3,
me
4,
see
5,
that.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. You beat the 11th best team in the SEC, dude.
And
Is that your best quality win?
Out of 12, right? There's 12
Out of 16.
16? Okay.
How close was that game with y'all?
Did we win?
Yeah, Billy
Don't matter.
Napier wasn't the coach. You
Don't
wouldn't have
matter.
won that
We
game.
won.
You wouldn't have won that game.
Dub.
Bro. That's
Dub, bro. Doesn't matter. Dub.
we beat
All right,
them.
wait,
We beat them
wait,
by
wait.
almost 20.
Wait,
They
wait.
beat them by 3 or whatever
Let
it
me-
was.
Okay.
So-
Dakota, let me set the precedent.
The
for
same
you
team. That's just
Yeah,
comparable
I need
to the same team.
groundwork
All right, let me
here.
give you the groundwork for why
Yeah.
this SEC
me see this,
this SEC tier thing, so you can confirm this. So as you'll see, these are the last championships over the last few years.
Oh, the last few years, not this year. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
laying
All
groundwork,
right,
bro.
all right.
I'm laying
he's,
groundwork.
He's allowing me to see what's going on.
Yeah, so this is why the SEC is considered
Okay.
probably the best conference in the
When
country.
did I argue that? When did I argue that?
Actually, this is true. He didn't have that part of the argument.
He is making the argument. He's saying that the ACC is just as good as the SEC. I'm telling you why the SEC has a better precedent to claim as a better conference than him. There's a history
Well,
to it, too.
I'm
I don't
telling you,
know
the
anything about
margins
it,
is
and I've
so much
heard that.
smaller than it used to be. I'm telling you, if you want to look at history, yes, the SEC has been better. The margins
Can I just
so
read
much
it, though,
smaller.
for fun?
You can.
Okay, I'm going to read it for fun. All right, this is
I
over...
need you to have your hands up here. And
Okay.
not under the table. Okay?
All right, I'm going to go all the way back to...
Hands where we can see them.
Go all the way back to 2003. That's over 21 years.
Okay, and I won't argue with any of this. So go ahead.
This is over 2 decades.
So you're not
All
going to
right.
argue anything.
Not any of this.
2003, LSU SEC team. 2004 Southern Cal Pac-12 team. 2005 Texas Big 12 team. 2006 Florida SEC team. 2007 LSU SEC team. 2008 Florida SEC team. 2009 Alabama SEC team. 2010 Auburn SEC team. 2011 Alabama SEC team. 2012 Alabama SEC team. 2013 Florida State ACC team. 2014 Ohio State Big 12 team. 2015 SEC team. 2016 Clemson ACC team. 2017 another SEC team Alabama. 2018 Clemson
ACC
team. 2019 LSU SEC team. 2020 SEC team. 2021 Georgia SEC team. 2022 SEC team. 2023 Michigan Big Big 10 team.
Well, I'm
So
going to ask
we've
you
got-
a question too. And it might
That's
not
a big
be
precedent for
That is. So
It's a couple SEC teams.
let's just say that they gave it away.
It's a lot of the same ones,
That's a
though.
good-
Let's be
yeah.
fair. That's the Nick Saban era.
Let's say they made it and everything, and you're not even having this argument. How far do you think they actually would get?
They're a good team, man. We
You
have
think that they could actually keep up with anybody else?
It's so
past
crazy.
them?
It's the ignorance is crazy. Miami has the best offense in the
Yes,
country.
I'm ignorant.
I know. This guy's shaking his head over
It's
here.
crazy to have one of the best offenses
Against our first game we played an SEC
worst
team. That's
defense
weird,
in
right?
like one of the worst defenses in the country.
We put up 41 on the SEC
Yeah, dude,
team.
and they're putting up freaking
And y'all
50
about lost
on
to
you
'em.
better ones, dude.
And
You
y'all about
play
lost
Texas,
to 'em.
they probably put up 65 on that trash defense.
That's
dude.
great. Did Texas play in the
So
SEC
bad,
last year?
dude.
Did Texas play in the SEC last year?
All right, here's my
No,
argument.
no. Just answer. Did they play in the SEC?
Did SMU play in the ACC last
That's
year?
not what I asked you.
Huh?
Did Texas play in the SEC last year?
No, did
Okay.
SMU play in the ACC last year?
That's not what I asked you. Okay.
That's what I asked you.
I know, but I'm finishing my comment here.
Okay, all right. Then you can answer my
you're
question.
You're trying to control the conversation.
Then you
Dad.
can answer my
Chill
question.
out. He does.
Hey, you can have your conversation. You can have that question in a minute, and you'll get it. Okay. But first, we're gonna have.
The table is yours.
I appreciate it. Okay.
Technically.
So Texas came from another conference, Dakota. I know you're don't know a lot of this, but
yeah.
Texas
Somewhere in another land,
Okay.
there's a thing.
they came from another conference, came to the SEC this year. They have a chance to win the SEC. The first year they're in the SEC, but the SEC is this all big, great conference that no one is as good as them. But they came
Holier
from
than thou.
Yep, but came from
Yeah.
another conference.
History proves it.
About to win that conference. So, tell me how the SEC is so much better than everybody else. If a team can just come in and win it first year.
Well, that's a good question because
Would you like my rebuttal?
let me just say this though. Let me say this. So what Jacob said though has to do a lot with a lot of different factors, and it could be in the leadership too.
Oh, I can give you the
factors.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear the factors.
All right,
Let's hear
first
the factors.
question. Now
Okay.
you can answer my question.
Yes, and I will answer honestly, like you won't, but okay.
I'm sorry. Did I say that Texas wasn't in the SEC last year? I believe I said that they weren't. And I'll give you my
I thought
reasoning
you said
behind
you
why
weren't
they
going
were
to
doing
rebuke
well.
any of that.
I know, right? I know.
So,
Okay.
Jacob, was SMU in the ACC last year?
No.
What
And
conference were they in?
they're in the American. And this is the reason
American.
that all these conferences are a lot closer than what people
What
think.
does that mean?
It's crazy. So, okay, when's the last time an American conference team has won a national title?
I don't think they've had the opportunity to, but
Why?
because they don't get as good recruits normally. But
And they don't play as good of teams normally, do they?
normally they don't. No.
Crazy. Okay.
Okay.
But do you have an American conference team that can go over to the
Jacob,
ACC?
I'm trying to root for you. You need to step it up a little bit.
And then they can go over and they can win that conference. It speaks to that conference a little bit. Anyway, I digress. So the Texas argument.
Well, no, for that, no, you just said something. For that, I'm just trying to get.
I'll finish. And I'll let
You're
you-
going
I'll
on
let
to
you go.
something
Hey,
else.
No, I'm not. No,
He let-
okay.
he
I'm
let
answering
you
your-
use-
your
Okay.
Texas.
Okay.
I'm answering your Texas.
Okay, all right.
I have never said, and I even give this to Oklahoma, even though Oklahoma had a pretty trash year. Still made a bowl game. Texas and Oklahoma have the funding and the means. I always said they could be good in the SEC, and they have the return players from last year. They were in the Final Four of all the teams. They lost to the team that lost the national title. They're probably the third best team last year. So, and they kept their starting quarterback. They kept a lot of players from that last year's team. So you're transferring.
Starting quarterback got hurt.
How
but-
many people fell off?
Huh?
Do you know how many people fell off?
They
from
didn't
the
have a
Final
lot.
Four?
They didn't lose a lot.
Okay.
Based from last year's team.
I want to know a little bit.
Lost a
more.
running back to the
You think,
NFL,
like,
didn't they not?
3-4 people.
Texas football. And you know what? I would almost make this argument for Miami if y'all haven't had so many down years the last few years. But I can't right now. It's just not true. because their defense is terrible.
But the offense is prolific. Best offense in the
matter,
country.
dude.
Best
Bro,
offense
It
in the
doesn't
country.
matter if teams can score more points than
Listen,
you, as
what Jacob
two
is
teams
saying
have done
is
this year.
they're going to score, but they're going to stab you through the heart.
No, the point is they're going to score against teams that have slightly worse defenses than other teams that would be in the SEC.
How many
This is why
points?
they would
How many
lose
points
to
did y'all
SEC
score
teams.
against Florida? I just want to
We
look.
didn't
How many
have
points?
to.
No,
Wait.
how many points did you score against Florida?
Scored 23. It doesn't matter.
Okay, we scored 41, but we can't compete with the SEC.
You see that flex? Mm-hmm. You see that?
Oh,
flex?
I see that flex.
Okay, it
I
doesn't-
see him
I'm-
still not in the playoffs because they play trash teams.
Y'all
And that's
about lost
my
that
point.
trash team.
Texas has a recruiting base and the funding to be an SEC school. They always have been. I would never sit here and argue
Miami
that.
doesn't have funding.
What?
Miami doesn't have funding.
No, I just said
Yeah, they
that.
do. It's
that-
called
I said
cocaine.
that. I said
It's
that
a
any
lot.
other year. I said that back in the past, maybe I would throw you all in the SEC. Y'all won national titles and stuff. You won more national titles than us. I'm not gonna argue that. I'm arguing
Recently.
I'm arguing with trends here by 3 years.
It's still
By
recently.
3
Still
years.
recently.
By 3 years. Settle down, 2001.
Still recently.
I'll settle down 98.
98.
All right. We'll settle down on that. We're talking about overall structure of conference here for this argument.
Okay.
Texas has the same funding levels, if not more, than a lot. Do what?
I said he's a prick, isn't he?
He's such a fucking prick, dude. I got to be for this argument, though. I'm fucking. It needs it. Texas schedule. Thank you, producer.
Another
Now-
Tennessee
no,
fan. No, hey,
now
another
before-
Tennessee fan.
Well,
up
no,
here.
there's no
Getting help
bias
in here.
This
Yeah,
is an unbiased
yeah,
producer.
okay,
You
yeah.
chill out. You chill out over
Hey,
here.
we're good. We're good. It's allowed. I need to know information.
All right.
Hey, is this a 2-on-1, Dakota?
No.
Okay, then tell them to leave it out of here.
No, I need to know things. This is
No,
for
no,
me.
no. Dakota just needs information.
I need information.
Now, here's the thing about football. Now, this is what I will concede this to Jacob, so that way he feels a little bit better for losing this argument.
You can win one thing. At
That's
least.
right. So the thing I will concede to Jacob is that this year has been very competitive overall.
Yeah,
compared to other years.
NIL makes it that way.
It does, and honestly, all the NIL haters can suck it.
Yeah,
I
football's
love-
better.
I love the NIL and all these people that are like, we're losing tradition and all this. You're getting better football.
Football's better.
You're getting better
what,
football.
What tradition's being lost?
Okay, so we'll tell you. So at a time in college sports, players didn't get paid for what they did. You have these.
Oh yes, I know kind
Yes.
of about this. Yeah.
Exactly. So these players aren't getting paid. They're selling all these
I
tickets.
loved when I had child labor.
Exactly. Borderline child labor. 18-year-olds to 22-year-olds.
I love when I took advantage of people.
That are selling
It was
tens
a better
of
time.
thousands to sometimes hundreds of thousands tickets a week. Aren't seeing anything from it. They can't. They at a time couldn't even receive dinners and things
Yeah,
like
couldn't
that.
get money to buy pizza from
Couldn't
somebody.
get
or
money
something.
to do that. And they would get violations thrown on them for doing that. Now, the NIL opened up, name, image, likeness. That means these players can sell their name, image, likeness to private companies. It could be sponsorships.
Who's saying this stuff?
NCAA. The NCAA. The organization that controls it.
Yep.
Now, NIL opens up. So now these players can go and get paid off their name.
Yeah.
If I'm Nico Iamaleava for, sorry, let me try his name again. Nico Iamaleava. It is Iamaleava.
Iamaleava.
Iamaleava. Iamaleava. No, you know what? I've heard announcers say it. I still feel like they're wrong.
I'm gonna formally apologize for Tad. We're gonna.
All right, Tad just
Of
lost.
course I do.
Okay. Let's move on before you dig yourself.
Iamaleava.
Now keep
For the
quit
sake
saying
of it,
it.
we'll say
Quit saying it.
Iamaleava. I said it right. It's Iamaleava.
You don't have anything to prove. Move along.
Hey, Nico.
Anyway, point is, he got paid $8 million to come to Tennessee. I'm pretty sure is the correct number. And that's off of him selling his name, image, likeness from like sponsorship deals and things like that. So it's not the school directly paying them. They have boosters and they have other sponsors and different companies that will pay them because they also have an interest in keeping that money in
I mean,
Knoxville
they're a
and all those good
billboard
things.
now at that point.
Pretty much. But point is, they get paid for what they do now. Now, what this does is this opens up other teams to be able to recruit these players because if I'm a backup quarterback at Tennessee, I may still be a good quarterback, but I'm not getting playing time over this guy that's a little bit better than me. That's okay. I can go to another school and transfer, and now I can go over to Oklahoma State or somewhere and still be possibly a recruit to get to the NFL and be just as good of a quarterback in that conference.
See, I'll tell you, I don't agree with how the transfer portal is worked.
They should do contracts.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So right now it's unfettered where it's new, so these players don't have to commit to contracts. So it is hard to keep a team together. Which honestly, though, if you're a good coach, you should be able to keep a team together.
So do people just drop out in the middle of the year?
Money talks though.
No, they won't drop out. They'll play through. They won't play their bowl game, which some
you
bowl
can
games
drop out now though. Like so, like people, if you
but
can
they
play,
can't transfer mid-season.
You can play like 3 games and then say, "Hey, I'm out," and you get your eligibility back for the next year.
You do. So you can play 3 games, drop out, get your eligibility back. You get an extra year, so that next year you can go to a different team and you can show like that you could possibly be a star for that team or be good for that team. The point is that it would probably be more controlled and you could have better player control in terms of building a team if these players had to sign contracts, like 1 to like 4-year contract. Let me talk with my hands.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Here, I'll put them over here.
All right, back to Texas schedule.
Okay.
So Texas played in the beginning of the year, their first big win, dominated Michigan, who not dominated. They beat Ohio State, though, their rivalry team.
Are
So
you
that's
talking,
one.
No, are you
one
talking
game.
about Michigan being a good team? Is that what you were just saying?
No, I'm just saying they beat a good team, though.
Michigan's a good team?
I said they beat a good team.
Is that the?
Are you saying Texas beat Michigan and that's a good win?
All right.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm speaking English here. I'm saying their first couple win of the year,
doesn't
their
sound
second win, they beat Michigan.
Michigan was not a good team this year.
Oh, they were just as good as Florida, dude.
What was their record? 7-5?
7-5. Who'd they beat last game of the year?
Yeah, Ohio State the last game. What'd they do other than that?
Okay, there's my point.
Okay, no,
All right,
that's
leaving
not
it
a
there.
good team. That's
Starting
not. No,
there.
that's not a good team.
Starting there.
Okay, all right. They didn't have a
So
good.
then
That
they
wasn't
beat,
a good win.
Then they beat Georgia.
Okay, that's a good win.
All right. Beat Florida.
Well, obviously, that's not a good win.
Oh no! According to you, it's a good win. That's
I know
my
that's
point.
what you were saying.
According
obviously.
to you, it's a good win.
You said it wasn't though.
No, they lost to Georgia.
Okay.
Sorry, they lost
Okay.
to Georgia.
Yeah.
Because Georgia's a good team.
Oh,
Corrected.
Then beat their ACC team.
Was Florida a good team?
And then beat Texas A&M.
What ACC team? Clemson. Talking about Clemson.
Who? Texas didn't play Clemson.
I don't know. What'd you say? You just said ACC team.
No, I said that then went on to beat you guys. That beat their ACC team. Georgia, who beat Georgia Tech. The ACC. The SEC beat the ACC.
Georgia Tech that took Georgia to 8 overtimes away.
Oh, and what was the final result?
Away.
And what was the final result?
Okay, but it wasn't at home, was it?
that an L?
It was at Georgia.
Was that an L?
Okay.
Okay. Do you consider Florida a good win?
No, I don't. I don't.
All right, that's
but
all I needed. Sorry, that's my argument. His best argument is that they beat the 11th best SEC team, while every other
My
ACC
best
team
I just said I
gets
didn't think it was a good win.
pumped by SEC teams. There you go. Simple as that.
Dakota, we beat Florida by 20 points. They beat Florida by 3. So I just don't even.
It's a larger margin.
Okay,
I
and
see
so
that.
like I don't know what else. What other
First
statistic
game of the
can
year.
I go by?
Preseason polls don't matter. Obviously, a bad team.
Yeah, first game of the year.
It can be a
First
bad
pump
team,
of the
and
night.
we
First
beat-
pump of the night, dude. Sometimes you're not ready. You don't have your team locked in.
Yeah, you
It's hard to
just get
judge by the
scared
first.
and-
That's why we're saying that preseason
Sometimes
polls
you
shouldn't
can't
count.
get it up.
Exactly. That's why we're saying like few weeks in it should start to count, right? As far as like rankings. You see, that was the argument from earlier.
I don't know. If you really go
done?
into something trying,
You done?
shouldn't it start immediately?
I don't know. Were you listening?
okay,
Did you
okay.
pick up anything useful?
No, well that literally I just said Florida wasn't
Hey,
a great
I
win.
think we picked
I
up
said
something
I
pretty
said
useful.
we
That's
beat
when you keep
Florida.
pointing.
Arrogance.
We beat Florida more than y'all. How else do you want me to say it? How else do you want me to say it? We beat Florida by more points than Tennessee did. Okay, so like what else do you want me to say about that? That's all I had to say.
Did the SEC beat more ACC teams?
I mean maybe.
No,
I'm
they
just
did.
saying Miami.
No. There's
I'm just
a hard
saying
fact out there that they did.
I'm just saying Miami beat the SEC team that we played this year. That's all I was saying. And we beat them by more than Tennessee beat them.
And then you
So
lost to Georgia Tech. And then lost to Georgia.
and about beat Georgia. Should have beat Georgia.
And then you lost to Syracuse.
Yeah, a
very
9-3 Syracuse team that's ranked
Mid.
ranked.
I want to go Syracuse.
Best
Let's see
passing
what
offense
Syracuse
in the
has done this
country.
year. Let's see what Syracuse has done this year.
Golly.
Golly.
All these passionate things coming up.
I love a good golly right
Man.
there.
We're all upset about it.
We just
all
got to
Oh.
listen.
Okay.
I love sports. Balls and feet, that's my favorite.
It's weird.
Hey, man.
It's a
I'm
weird
just,
football.
I'm
You like
just-
the foot on the balls?
I'm just matching the energy. Trying to hang out with the bros.
All right, so all right, by your logic, this is the beginning of the year too. So these teams are about the same at the beginning of the year. They beat NC State by 7 points.
Who
We
did?
beat Syracuse.
Okay.
The team you're talking about that you guys lost to. They beat NC State by 7 points. Close to about the same margin they beat you guys. We beat NC State by 41 points.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Big win.
Not a good ACC.
So
They were ranked at the beginning of the season though, but not a good ACC team.
no, yeah. They lost to Stanford.
Stanford? Oh,
They lost to Stanford, dude. What was
what is
Stanford's
Stanford?
record?
A bunch of nerds? Like, God.
Let's see what Stanford's record was. I'm pretty sure Stanford didn't make a bowl game.
Was it the beginning of the season too?
It was.
Okay.
What's Stanford known for?
What's your point you're trying to make
besides
with the
that?
beginning of the season?
You said our win wasn't as good because it was at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
So I mean that's what
I
you
still
said.
stand by that.
Okay, so
But
why
you're
are
trying
you
to
using
argue
that argument
because
then?
you're trying to argue it is.
I'm saying we beat them by more than y'all beat them. That's all I said.
I know, and I said the beginning of the season doesn't matter as much
then-
first game of the
then
week
don't
because
bring that-
preseason
don't be
doesn't matter.
hypocritical
I'm
then.
using your logic.
You're the one bringing that
I
argument.
am because you're the one using that logic. I'm using your logic by that standard. My standard is simple. 10 games, you put these teams together. These teams win more than 5 games against these teams. All right? You compare the record, SEC versus ACC, points margin, and wins. SEC wins.
Did they
It's that
play?
simple.
Did they play 10 times?
It's that simple.
Did they play 10 times?
I'm saying if they did, they would.
Ifs and buts, man. Right?
It's right. Ifs and
God
buts.
damn.
Ifs and buts. If Miami was in the playoffs, what a Merry Christmas it would be for you. But
That's
they
fine.
ain't.
I know
'Cause
we ain't,
even the
but we-
committee and more than probably
this is all
50% of the
hypothetical.
country, then 50% of the country would agree that Alabama would beat Miami more than 5 times if they played at least
So
10
it
games.
makes
think
it
so.
more
I don't
real
think so.
because everybody agrees?
I really don't think
I'll
so.
put a poll out. We'll put a poll
Let's
out.
put a poll out.
All right. I want a poll for that one.
I really don't think so.
That's a good
So
poll.
even if it's 90% of the people actually agree to that, that doesn't mean that it's actually a reality.
Listen, Dakota. Just go along with this.
I am.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Man,
it
Alabama
is
had a tough
reality.
time. They had a tough time with USF, dude, and we killed USF.
They
That's
still beat USF by like over 20 points.
another
it didn't matter.
another
We had a tough
relevant.
time against Vanderbilt in the first quarter, and then we ended up just controlling the game.
just saying another
Y'all were up 21 points against the mid Syracuse team, and then blew it.
Say mid when y'all didn't play them.
Mid.
That's all I'm just saying.
I will say mid.
You
They
all
were a
didn't play 'em.
mid team, dude. Anyone again? Another poll in the country. Penny, it's an eye test. You don't think eye tests matter?
Did you watch the fucking game?
I did watch the fucking
Then
game.
you
Because I
did
watched
it.
y'all blow the fucking lead.
And you tell me they
Your
didn't look. They didn't
best
look
wide
good.
receiver just getting ripped like a bitch.
And you tell me
for a touchdown.
And you're
dude.
telling me Syracuse didn't look good. They didn't look good at all. They didn't look good at all.
Well, they didn't look good to go down 21 points, but I
Okay.
guess they got a little bit better to fucking come back and beat y'all.
And they looked all right, didn't they?
Huh?
They looked all right,
For an
didn't they?
ACC team, a mid-ACC team, yeah.
That would be probably half the SEC schools. So
Yeah,
yep.
they go 6-6.
It'd be half the SEC schools.
You're right. They'd finish about where Florida was.
That's all right. Still be half of them. And y'all about lost
Yeah,
to
that's
Florida. Y'all about lost to Florida. Y'all about
You're-
lost
you're-
to
what's the key
Kentucky.
word? What's the key word he just said there? About.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's true.
It was there.
I mean, it's all about margins. That's all I'm saying is the SEC is
Marginally
overrated.
worse, marginally better. That's some.
Oh, it's closer this year. I'm not sitting here arguing it's not closer. I'm just saying, SEC still has about a half. It's almost a tier advantage over the ACC schools, and the records and the numbers bear that out.
Miami,
simple.
Miami playing the SEC would have about the same records we did in the ACC this year. Yes, sir.
You know what this sounds like to me is just a bunch of hearsay. Just
Hey, Taylor, will you go into the other room and see if we have any copium left?
we've used it all.
Need some hopium, not copium. Need some hopium.
You need more than opium to get in at this point. This episode is brought to you by Only Bama Fans, the premier website for keeping it in the family. Whether you're at a tailgate, family reunion, or just feeling lonesome in the holler, we're here to make sure your heart and your family tree stay intertwined. Swipe right for your second cousin twice removed, or message your third cousin who's only been distant in mileage. Because why branch out when you can keep it rolling tight? Only Bama Fans, where the family that plays together stays together. Join today.
Only in select states.
Fees and services may apply.
That's about where I fall on as far as the ACC SEC
Man, I
debate.
still,
Now,
as much as
we'll give some. We can give some actual college playoff predictions here too.
You can.
I'm cool with that.
I mean,
You're
Tennessee
good.
Tennessee loses in the horseshoe, definitely first round. So,
Ooh.
Horseshoe?
yeah, 100%.
Against Ohio State.
Now this is personal.
I mean,
what do
yeah.
you feel about that?
I
You-
feel.
do you realize that
hey,
you
hey,
also
hey,
will suck?
Hey, no,
Your
this,
team is also going to
Wait,
be bad.
what did you say? You said we lose in the horseshoe first round?
Yeah.
All right, I will say that we may lose in the horseshoe first round, but my argument would be, God, we made it the first round.
You did.
Hey, what are we,
at least you showed up.
Are we
Hey, we got to be there.
doing predictions?
We got to be
Okay,
there.
we're going back.
Sorry, no,
we're
that
going
was
back.
just the point, that was
Nope,
just the point.
nope,
That was
going
the point.
back. All right. So Alabama lost to a 6-6 Oklahoma team and a 6-6 Vandy team, and they deserved it over Miami. That's you agree with that? So you agree?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Why?
my argument I said earlier.
What?
That if they were to play each other, that Bama wins more times than Miami.
I'm still trying to on what basis? Like what basis do you like?
I test.
Yeah, and what
Okay,
what
wait,
does
hold on.
Alabama
What's
do
an
better
eye
than Miami?
test?
That's going to be
I need explanation.
Defense.
to win the
Hey.
game.
Defense. They have a better defense than you guys.
Bring it
And they
in
have a good
here.
offense.
Huh?
They have a good offense.
They have a decent enough offense
They
to beat
scored
you on
3
that.
points against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They scored
ahead.
3
What the
points.
hell is an eye test? I need information.
Oh, no,
You get locked in and
okay.
you're like, I test.
Well, he was arguing with me on this. I test just means if you watch the game,
Okay.
there is usually a visual component that tells you that this team just seems to be overpowering or better than this team. There may be some games they even lose that you're like, well, that team still looked like they dominated most of the game and they caught some unlucky breaks. That happens. Right?
Survives.
Yeah, it's fucking Syracuse.
It's a little bit of vibes. It is a little bit of vibes. I'm
When
not gonna lie.
when we
But
played
I
Syracuse-
I feel like
test.
I've heard this today in an opposite position. Mm-hmm. What was you saying earlier?
Oh, it's politics. It's different.
Oh, we can't trust.
Well,
that,
we can
man.
get into numbers.
Vibes.
No. Numbers.
It's different when I'm personally
Numbers
involved in
line
a
up for
different
my
way.
argument too with the vibes.
No, they
That's my
don't.
point.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They
No,
do.
they don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
My argument is all about numbers.
Points
Yours
against
is-
Miami,
Let
way
me finish,
more
let me
from
finish,
ACC.
Let me finish. Let me
Tad.
finish. Let me finish.
Point.
Let me
teams
finish.
lost from
Okay.
the SEC
Tad.
team. It's more than the ACC.
He's
I gotta
right.
just keep going.
He does. He does have a point with what he's saying, though. It may not be correct, and it probably is not a reality that's going to happen. That's very true. But he came out 9, right? Was it 9 wins?
10. We have 10 wins.
10 wins.
10 and
to
2.
2. That's good.
That is good.
These
That
other
was
SEC teams are 9 and 3.
And even if some of these might have been a little worse, I'm sure that Georgia also had some really bad people there.
Listen,
against, too.
Dakota, if
They
we're
about
going
lost
by
to
that
Georgia Tech.
logic, I'm telling you, Montana State should be in right now. Okay? They went undefeated.
Did they play an SEC team?
Oh, it didn't matter, dude. We're just
Okay,
talking
well, that's
about
what-
records. We're just
that-
talking about records, dude.
That's what I'm trying
just
to.
talking about
I'm
records.
trying to give you numbers, and
So-
all you keep saying is if Miami played Alabama
You keep
10 times.
saying
Okay,
that
I don't even get
record
to sit.
matters.
I'm done talking, dude. Golly.
Go ahead.
No. Finish what you
No.
want to say.
No, I'm just saying by your logic. I'll throw in Montana State because they're undefeated. Go ahead.
Listen, you upset him.
I did.
Why'd you do that?
Get a fucking sentence in.
Can't
Holy shit.
just can't handle the smoke, dude.
Holy shit.
Where there's smoke, there's
I
fire.
literally can't get a
You're
sentence
Can't handle
in.
these hot takes, bro.
I
You're
can't get a
smoking a lot.
sentence in.
There you go.
I know.
Moderator, control this.
Okay. Tad, you better listen to me next time. He's right. You're a fucking loudmouth.
We're both loudmouths. We talked about this.
Yeah. You knocking my stuff over.
All right. Go ahead.
Is that okay?
I want you to.
The only
Hey.
you
No, I'm just
you keep saying numbers. You keep saying numbers.
The table's yours.
I think this should be about numbers, not if Miami played Alabama 10 times, which would never happen. Let's just talk about what literally happened this season. We lost by combined 9 points to 2 teams that were decent teams away. Alabama lost 3 games this year by 2 6-6 teams. One was by 21 points in one game. So that's all. And just that set right there, like that's Miami should get in. That's the argument. That's a winning argument. That's all. That's all I got to say.
keep the tone and pace at a good moderation. Do not exceed decibels. Be respectful. Do not get emotional. We will move forward. Thank you.
Both of their losses were away too. Of 2 of those,
2 of those.
they have a stronger strength of schedule. than
They
you
they
guys.
lost 3 games.
They did, but they have a stronger strength of schedule.
Bring it in also. We're going to talk of this.
Is that right?
It is. We're gonna
By combined, how many points?
Hmm?
By combined, how many points?
By combined, how many points?
How they lost
Again,
those 3
you
games
just-
by.
you're
That's
going-
what
we're rising again. We're rising again. Bring it
Because
in.
I'm
it's such a
using.
dumb
I'm using
argument.
facts.
It's
literally-
so dumb.
Numbers.
I told if we're going to go back to by point
Numbers.
differential, the team you lost to beat a team that we beat by 41 points by only 7 points. By that logic, that is your logic you're using here. Syracuse only beat that team by they only beat Syracuse only beat NC State by 7 points,
Okay.
and then they get shit pumped by us, 51-10. By your logic on numbers, We see how much better the SEC is if that's the train of logic you want to go down.
What
Doesn't matter. What matters is wins and losses. Because at the end of the day, it's who wins the game and who loses the game.
Then why would you say that? And then it said it matters that they only won by 7 and y'all beat them by 40.
I want to bring an attention.
And why'd you say wins and losses are the only thing that matters?
both of
Because
you.
the
So that shouldn't
point
even be an
is that
argument.
in the comparison of one more thing. Look,
One
comparison
more
of
thing,
ACC
Jackie.
to SEC, it goes back to my argument, man. The SEC has won more games, and we have one of our 5th to 6th best teams beating your team that is in the SEC title game. We win that game at their home turf, and we win more games. When the final result and the buzzard sounds, the SEC wins. That's just the point.
I'm arguing for Miami. Our SEC team, we beat the SEC team we played.
And
so
they were
that's
the 11th best SEC team.
So
and
did
we beat
Georgia
'em.
Fail to beat theirs.
Wins and losses don't matter.
They won.
They won theirs. So
He's saying wins and losses don't matter.
When did I say that?
You're
We were
what you're
10 and
saying.
2. That's my whole argument. Is we're 10 and 2.
What's the record of SEC versus ACC teams? It's enormously
1
favored
to
in
0.
SEC.
Miami beat the one they played 1 to 0.
What about the
that's
others?
I'm arguing for Miami. So
He's arguing. Yeah, you're arguing about beating the 11th best team out of 16.
that's the only one we played. Y'all struggled with them. I'm just saying, like, y'all still beat them.
And the point is we won.
Okay, and we
The point
did
is
too.
we won. And the
we
point
did
is
too.
all the other SEC teams that played their SEC teams won. The only two that you have is Miami and Louisville.
Hey.
2 teams that beat the
You're
worst
going really
SEC
fast.
teams.
Bring it back in.
They beat the
Getting
worst SEC
too
teams.
Crazy. All right.
Y'all barely beat Florida.
Barely. he
Barely.
said.
SEC team.
Coaching decisions is the reason. Coaching decisions the reason they didn't lose that game.
Okay.
Florida's not a good SEC team.
No,
I
y'all
just
about
want
lost
to make
them.
a
It's
final
fucking
point
crazy.
about
We
this.
beat 'em.
I want to tie it up because I think you guys are just
No,
running in
I
circles.
do want to do predictions too. For real.
Well, no, that's fine.
We'll get past that.
We're gonna do that,
Yeah.
but I want.
Are we making a comment? If we make another comment by me, we're going back to the argument.
might.
So, okay. All right.
we're
We'll
gonna
just get
tie
ready.
this box up nicely.
All right.
And this is what I gathered from it. Tad's side of the argument is saying that they bowled a perfect, like they bowled their score, and his team over here has bumpers up. That's
what I heard.
That's what I gathered.
What do you mean?
Your team has bumpers bowling. You know what those are?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like is happening with
I don't
this.
know. We played one of their teams and beat them, so I don't know.
He's saying your argument is in order
Don't
to
know how.
bowl a good score like we did, you need the bumpers up.
I think that's crazy.
That's what I heard, and that's what I heard. So
All right. I'm going to pull up the bracket. Move past it.
Try to make him do it again.
man, I was rooting for you in the beginning. I really was. I said I was rooting for you.
Well, it's hard to know what's going on. Anything's going on when somebody's screaming.
I know he's really bad about that. He's not a very good communicator.
Did that convince you?
No, it was the other things I put together. Also, he convinced me more by his statements than you did.
What was the result?
The result does not matter from the statement that was
results
being made.
matter.
No. From my comment that
All
I
right,
just
here
made
we go.
about you.
Here we go. Playoffs.
Do not dodge what was said.
All
I just wish. No, this. I'll say one thing. I'll say one more thing. I just wish if it was more of an argument. If you want to argue that the SEC is better than the rest of the conferences, you have an argument there. You didn't really argue for Alabama that much, other than saying that if we played them 10 times, which never fucking happened,
I did
then
do
it
a
would
good
be
job
different.
wrapping the
that's-
box. It's spilling out in front of me. I did not keep it in the box.
That's all. You didn't really defend Alabama's loss to Oklahoma, or their loss to Vandy, or their loss to Georgia. But that's all I was saying.
Your defense for your team was they lost to two teams
By
on
9
the road.
points on the road. Yes,
On the road.
9 points on the road.
To a lesser conference. By your words.
Marginally.
Still lesser.
Marginally.
All right.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Okay.
All right. So right now.
Are we really gonna?
Maybe.
We'll
We'll try. Okay. All right. So right now we have Oregon as the 1 seed, Texas is the 2 seed, SMU the 3 seed, and the 4 seed would be Boise State. So that would be it.
Is Boise State still winning? Let's see.
Were they up? Yeah, check that. We got a live score on that one. Probably.
They're only winning by 7 earlier.
They played their games close.
Yeah, 21-0. They're gonna win that.
Yeah. So Boise State should probably get them. Unless Clemson's upsets SMU by the time this is out, SMU would be the 3rd seed. So right now it has us at Ohio State It has Arizona State at Penn State. It has Alabama at Notre Dame, and it has Indiana at Georgia. So if I was, we need to start first round. Let's just say it sits that way. Clemson could honestly be a wrench and beat SMU. Clemson's just that way.
SMU's good though.
SMU is good.
This article I just read said that they could still put Bama in over SMU.
Yeah, if they do, that just validates my argument even more.
That would be a
I
wonderful
actually agree
thing
with
to
him
see
on
then.
that one. I actually do agree with you on that one. I don't think you should be penalized for your conference championship.
No.
Georgia, Indiana. So this would be a number 10 Indiana Hoosiers team at number 7
Do we even got
Georgia.
to? Do we even have to do
You
predictions?
know, don't you?
I mean, I know Indiana's not good though.
They're not, dude.
Okay.
I don't think Indiana's good either. Georgia probably wins that game by 14, but in Georgia fashion though, they may play it close.
It's gonna be at Georgia, right?
It is at Georgia.
They might beat them by 21. They really might.
All right, so we got Georgia for that one. That's good. Winner plays number 2 Texas on that one. Okay, so Alabama, Notre Dame.
It'll be a good game. I'm gonna pick Notre Dame.
Bama. I take Bama for that one. I don't disagree that Notre Dame could win that game.
I think it'll be close.
It will be close. And listen, I'll retract a little bit on it. It just depends which Bama team shows up.
100%.
So I'd still take Bama though. I think Bama wins that game.
Do you think Miami would beat Notre Dame?
Yeah. This is my
Not
thing,
out of
Taylor.
10 games.
Listen to this guy. Out of 10 games that would never happen.
All right, go ahead.
I hate that he's
I mean-
right about something. He disgusts me.
We just we're gonna let points up whoever Miami plays this year. We did that all year. So, but we score points against anybody. Also, we score 40 points a game. I mean, like it's just can the other person score 40?
Dude,
That's the whole.
Listen,
Can Notre Dame score 40?
No.
I don't know.
Listen. I'll support you on this one. I would actually like to see Miami in over Bama if I was just speaking from like an entertainment value. Because one, fuck Bama, but two,
After
dude.
last year, they got a golden ticket last year over Florida State that was undefeated. So
no, okay, sorry, side tangent here. I agree with you. Florida State got fucked.
definitely, it doesn't matter if your star quarterback got hurt or not.
You know who else got fucked though?
Who?
But because they lost that game. You know who would have won the national title last year?
Who?
Georgia. Georgia was the best team last year.
Bro, who'd they lose to? I don't remember.
They lost to Bama in
they
the
lost
SEC
to-
title.
oh,
That's
yeah,
why they lost
yeah.
their spot. They had to justify the fact that Texas got in though, and that's why Bama got in. They had to justify Bama getting in and leaving out Florida State, the fact that Texas beat Bama to justify both of them getting in. That's why they had to put in Bama. And Bama lost to Michigan.
Was last year the year TCU and Baylor were both 11-1?
Year before last.
That was the year before.
Because
last,
that is
okay.
when TCU
And
got.
that's when
they
Ohio
got.
State jumped them both.
Hmm.
Ohio State jumped Baylor and TCU both 11-1.
But that was fair. See, that's the thing. That's what sucks.
Did
I
they
know
steal their shoes?
it's not perfect. If they played for Georgia, they probably did. That was just facts. So TCU had a great year that year, and let's be honest, the two best teams that year was Ohio State, Georgia.
yeah, 100%.
You had the national title on New Year's Day the game before.
But this again isn't about the best team. It's about how you played your season.
No, I know. So your most deserving team last year, I felt Florida State did get fucked. But again, that's why I'm saying that eye test matters a little bit because Florida State would have got put in, they'd have got shit pumped.
They would have, but they still deserve to be in. It's what you put out on the field.
I know.
You
But
what
I get that. I lean towards that some ways, but I also counter towards the eye test a little bit for that reason. We all know Florida State would have got shit pumped.
Yeah, but you go undefeated in a Power 5 conference, you should get in. That's just, what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
no one else went
I'm just
undefeated.
saying it would have helped the argument if they'd at least put up more than would they put up 3 points on Georgia and Georgia put up 50 on them?
Something like that.
It would have been better if they'd have just done better. I just wanted another Catholics versus Cons game. That would have been awesome.
That'd been really nice.
That'd have been great. That'd have been great for both brands. Yeah, there's an old Miami story where it's Miami versus Notre Dame, and they made these shirts called Catholics versus Convicts. And
At the time, it was.
at the time, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
to
Miami
be
was pretty
fair.
ruthless. Yeah, they just grabbed people wherever they could get them.
Hey,
Wherever.
can you play football?
Oh yeah.
Come to Miami.
No matter if you're in trouble or not.
No,
got
we
you.
don't care. Now they just go to Georgia. so many problems. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame wins that game. I still favor Bama. I think the Bama team that should show up probably shows up for at least one game in this playoff.
See what they do with Milroe. They run them every time. They might win. If they
They
try
do.
to make them throw, they're going to lose.
Y'all put up a lot of points on Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't have that. They give up a lot of points. They give up, what, 30-some to USC. USC wasn't that good.
No. But, I mean, see, we'd put up points against anybody, though. That's the thing. It's just if you're going to score more or not. You might score more.
All right. Arizona State, Penn State. I think that's an interesting game, actually.
Arizona State, Penn State?
Arizona State, Penn State. It's
Penn
at
State
Penn
wins
State.
that.
I think Penn State wins it just because it's at Penn State. I don't think Penn State's a good team, though.
No, I don't either. Arizona State's not a good team, though, either.
They're not, but they're
But they won the conference.
They're feisty.
They won the conference, yeah.
they're feisty. It's a feisty team that could come in and wreck some shit. Kind of like TCU did Michigan that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Arizona State's got that vibe to them. What's their running back's name? Will you look him up for me just real quick? Arizona State running back.
Sorry, you've been disconnected.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry, this is the less contentious part of the discussion.
Yeah. I'm okay with non-contention.
That's all right. What's that white boy's name? Yeah, Scattaboo. Scattaboo. Yeah. He's fiery.
Who?
Scattaboo.
Oh, their quarterback?
What do you mean by
Scatabo.
fiery? What do you keep
Oh,
using that
running back.
word? Like what?
He's
what
just
does that mean?
he's an entertaining running back. He's good at his job and he's fun to watch. Fiery.
Fiery.
All right. Tennessee, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Tennessee.
I think y'all could win that game for sure.
Tad,
but
I think we can.
I think Ohio State will win, though.
It's tough that we're playing it at the
In the
Horseshoe.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the cold. But man, I don't know. My hope is that after the Vanderbilt first quarter.
Oh, if y'all play like that, you'll lose.
No, 100%. Well, I'm just saying. I'm thinking after that though. I think there's a little bit. I hope they carry over a fire under their ass. They're like, all right, we need to fucking show up. All right, if they show up, they'll beat them.
They can, yeah. Ohio State's just got the best roster money can buy. So they
They
just
do.
got the most expensive roster.
They do, and they should be better than 2 losses though. It's cracked me up. They lost to Michigan again.
It's crazy.
I loved it.
They tried to run the ball. And Michigan's got a good run defense.
Yeah.
No.
All Michigan can do is run defense and run the ball themselves. How do you lose to that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on then. Let's go. I'll lean more towards Notre Dame on the Alabama game because I could see that one more, and I'll even lean more towards Ohio State since it's at home against Tennessee, as much as I don't want to. So let's move on then to that. So Georgia plays Texas again. This will be the 3rd time they played them. First off, SEC championship. Does Georgia beat them again, or does Texas take that one? 2nd time, round 2.
I guess I think I would love to watch them in this next game. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Yep.
No prediction.
I really don't know. I think they're both. If Georgia plays like they did against Georgia Tech, they'll lose. If Texas plays like they did. I mean, who Texas lose to? Is that their only loss?
That's their only loss. Georgia at Texas.
Let's take Texas then.
Take Texas in the playoff or the SEC game.
Both.
Both. So you think Texas? See, I think the other one wins, whichever other one. I think Georgia actually beats them in the SEC title. But if it was flipped in the playoff game, I would actually take Texas. I don't think they lose to them 3 times in a row. But you take Georgia in the playoff?
I'm going Texas.
Going Texas. I'll lean to Texas with you then. I'll lean to Texas because I don't think Georgia beats them 3 times. So we'll go Horns.
Oh, yes.
All right. So we got Texas in that one. So that would mean Notre Dame against SMU in this hypothetical. Who you got?
Man, trying not to have any bias here. I haven't really seen SMU play anybody. I'd love to see this Clemson game. SMU Clemson game. See what happens.
Sorry, I took that the way you didn't want me to take that.
I know they have had an easier schedule than we have.
You heard it too.
They've had an easier schedule than we've had. But let's see, BYU was a good.
They had a bunch of ACC teams.
Let's look at. We're gonna get back into this, aren't we? Let's look at
All right,
SMU
that's fine.
schedule.
That's fine. I would actually take Notre Dame in that one.
I'd love to see this Clemson game. See how
Notre Dame's been playing pretty hot here lately. I mean, SMU is probably a good team, but I'll take Notre Dame.
I knew you would too.
Jacob,
Yeah,
how does it feel to be crucified?
it's fun. I really don't give a fuck, dude.
I'm so sorry.
For what?
Just your
You shouldn't be
crucifixion.
sorry.
He did it to save the world today. Save the world from all the struggle of being a Miami fan.
Somebody
An ACC.
They barely lost to
advocate.
BYU, but BYU is looking a lot worse now.
Yeah, they've kind of dropped a little bit. That was also early season.
Yeah, they did beat Louisville. Louisville's decent. They beat Duke. Duke has only lost 3 games this year.
Notre Dame did well. Again, I know early season's hard to tell, but later season
look
showed to be a
California.
good team. Notre Dame beat. Like I said, dude, I feel like they just had that fluke game against Northern Illinois. Bad fluke game to have.
Bad.
But horrible. One of the worst you can. But they beat A&M at A&M. They bullied our servicemen once again, who both have good years.
But that's
beat
a little,
USC at USC, bullied them. They've beat the teams they played though by the margins they should beat them by. They've dominated.
I'll tell you what, I'm going SMU, but if you want to go Notre Dame, that's fine. I understand.
You'd roll with Notre Dame
Yep.
for this hypothetical.
Yeah, but I'm going to take SMU.
Okay.
Glad that it's fine that he takes it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll roll with some picks of like I could see that. I can lean more towards yours.
I'm just
way.
looking to the Cal game. They held Cal.
So
to like
are you going to
3
roll?
points.
Are you going to roll with Notre Dame for the hypothetical on the consensus? Even though
I'll make
think
a
you would
prediction
take-
on it. Yeah, but I think SMU would win that game.
Okay, that's
But-
fine.
Okay.
We'll roll with Notre Dame though
Okay.
on that. So we got Penn State at Boise State. That's a good one.
That is a good one. Let's go Boise.
Let's go Boise. I like it. Let's go Boise. Let's go Boise.
Boise. I got a friend from Boise, too. Boise.
Oregon.
Potatoes.
Oh, you do. Oregon, Ohio State, round 2.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I think so. Yeah. I think Oregon got lucky the first time. I think they're a little overrated. Barely beat Boise State.
So that would mean that Boise
Ohio
State would play, I think, Ohio State. Or no, do they do lowest seed plays highest seed?
I think they do that.
Lowest seed plays high. So that would mean that Ohio State.
Maybe no, and I think they just stick in the brackets. Yeah, they just stick in the brackets.
Okay, so then that would mean that Boise State would play Ohio State, and that would mean that Notre Dame would play Texas.
Okay.
Texas beats Notre Dame.
Yeah, Texas, Ohio State.
Texas, Ohio State. Who wins it all?
I think Texas.
Texas. Horns. There you go. That's our prediction. That's our consensus prediction. Some picks may vary, but we'll lean towards ones where like we could see it more of than maybe the other way around. Because I'm with you. I could see Ohio State beating Tennessee more than I bet you could see Tennessee beating Ohio State.
A little bit.
I do too, especially at Ohio State. That's fine.
But honestly, I think SMU could beat Notre Dame. I think.
But this gets interesting though if Clemson gets in.
Yes, but SMU should get in over Alabama.
I agree with that.
Should.
I agree with that. I stick up. No offense. I would stick up for SMU more than Miami on this one, just because they made the conference title and they shouldn't be punished for that.
We had a harder schedule than SMU did, but that's okay.
Wow.
I understand. What do
You
you
had to
mean,
get
why?
up at 9
We
o'clock in the
did.
morning. Like, that's
We
a hard
did.
Schedule.
Huh?
He probably did.
I'm just trolling.
Okay, yeah, you keep trolling.
All right. How much time are we at? An hour. All right. That's probably a good wrap right there.
I think so.
Before you go, I think I just had this idea. I think
Yeah,
you
go
should
ahead.
run through those top 12 and have Dakota guess. Have Dakota guess who the mascots are for those 12 teams.
All right. Yeah. Let's do that. I like that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to have to look up one of them.
Which one?
Indiana.
The guys
I
you
know
just
what it
spoke
is. I
about?
just don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
The mascots.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's all right. So, who is the mascot for the University of Indiana?
Indiana.
What's their nickname and what is it?
It's a corn cob.
Okay. The corn cobs. Okay. We're going to go with. Do you want to do one and I'll do one?
Of what?
Like, we'll go back and forth.
Okay, you're doing Indiana. What's the
I did
next one?
Indiana. So Indiana is the Hoosiers. And
Hoosier
so
with the Hoosier.
A Hoosier is an official nickname for people of Indiana. It's used to describe someone who is friendly, neighborly, and content with Indiana's way of life.
So corn cobs.
Pretty much, yes.
Sorry,
All right,
guys.
Jacob, go ahead.
Okay,
I love corn.
SMU. What is their
SMU.
mascot?
SMU. Can I have more than SMU? Yeah.
What is this?
It's Southern Methodist University, and it's in Texas.
Cross. Jesus. Like.
No, I'll give you another guess here, though.
Okay,
It's
so-
an animal.
It's an animal.
An animal.
Texas.
Texas animal.
It might not help that
armadillo.
much. No.
I love these. Go ahead.
It is a Mustang.
Mustang. Okay, I could see that.
All right. Oh, he might get this one. I'll give you a better chance on this one. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I think that's a dog. That's the first thing come to my head. I don't know what that is. oh, I'm sorry.
So
it's that Disney movie, The Hunchback. What was his name?
What is the Hunchback?
Yeah, Quasimodo.
So they are the Notre Dame Fighting Irish
Oh, okay.
for Catholic Irish roots.
I wouldn't have guessed that ever.
Okay, we're gonna go. I think you might know this one. Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, no.
Be close to your last guess.
Close to my last guess?
was close.
God, what did I even say? I don't even know anymore.
He just remembers Quasimodo. That's
That's all I was thinking about was how cool that song was. So I said, what did I say? There's a dog, a bulldog.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, good job. All right. So let's do. Oh, he might get this one because we kind of may have alluded to it. What's Texas?
That's a Longhorn, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job. He's got two.
All right.
All right.
Playoff team. What's Miami Hurricanes?
Playoff teams only.
All right.
Here, I can give you my list.
Let's go. Penn State.
Penn State.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yep.
Penn State. Pennsylvania.
I'll
right? Is that where it's
I'll
at?
give you a hint. It's Pennsylvania. It's 2 words. I actually don't know what the first.
I don't
word
either.
means, to be honest with you.
If you get the second word right,
All right, you can give it to us here in a minute.
Penn.
it's an animal.
A badger of sorts. I don't know.
It's a Nittany lion.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. I'll have to see a picture.
What is the Nittany?
I didn't know that. I know it was the Nittany Lions. I didn't know.
I'm guessing it's some
know
sort
what
of
it
mountain
means?
lion or something. Like, is that what that is?
I don't know what Nittany means.
Honestly, that's probably not a bad guess right there. I want to look it up.
I don't know what a Nittany is. We can get a picture too.
That's the first one that comes up.
That's Single Mountain.
It's a mountain lion. Cougar,
Oh, okay.
puma, panther.
Nittany.
The name Nittany comes from Mount Nittany, a landmark near the
okay. It's
university
just a
campus
mountain lion of that mountain.
of that mountain.
Okay.
All right, I like it. The more you know. All right. Oregon.
Oregon. The Oregon Trail. That was a terrible game.
Another animal.
Another animal. I already said armadillo. Oregon. Some sort of muskratty kind of thing.
You're close.
It's a rodent. It has to be a rodent.
Oh yeah, you're so close.
Tip of your tongue.
Rodent. Let's see. Western rodent. Muskratty thing. Wolverine. No. This is Oregon. 'Cause Oregon's got some weird desert out there, don't they?
I think it's a lot of trees.
Is Oregon? Is it?
It rains a lot in Oregon.
Is
It's the
it
one right
further
above California, below
But
Washington.
It doesn't touch any of the like Nevada area, does it?
Maybe
Right.
like the top left tip. I think they're more forested.
Okay, so it's more of the big boy trees.
Big boy trees.
So, ooh,
Your big boy trees and rodents.
big boy tree and rodent. I don't know, some sort of coon or something. Do we got? I don't know. I
Give me
really
an
don't know.
official. You just give me
I'm
an
gonna
official
I'm gonna
guess.
say one. It's just gonna see. I don't know. I want it to be some sort of
Just say like the Oregon blanks.
the Oregon. Oh, dang, I'm just gonna say muskrat because I don't know.
The Oregon muskrats. You were close. It's the Oregon ducks.
Okay, that's a little quacky, but
Dude, probably best uniforms though in the game.
ducks.
So Oregon is right next to where Nike's headquarters are, so they get all of the first dibs at
Is there a lot of lakes in Oregon?
I think so.
Probably,
Around
yeah.
Oregon?
A lot of water. It's forests and watery kind of area.
Oregon.
I would love to go there. I've never been there.
All right, Dakota. If you get this one, then I will shake your hand for sure.
Like I need that, but okay.
You do. Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Desert.
I mean, I already said armadillo. Are we in the armadillo thing
No,
again?
no. I'll give him this is a good hint. Hot.
Hot.
Okay.
It's a good hint. Hot. No,
It's hot there.
Not an animal.
Yeah,
Not
no
an animal. Hot.
Arizona Suns.
You
know
know
what?
You got one more word.
Yeah, you got the first one right.
Sun
Still
what?
hot. Another hot word.
Arizona
Something else hot.
Satan. Devils.
Good job. Arizona Sun Devils.
Yep.
Very
Sun
good.
Devils?
Yeah, they're the Sun Devils.
What? What? Okay.
Proud of you. All right. Boise State.
Divine intervention. Boise State. But a potato. No, I'm just kidding.
Good guess. Also an animal, though.
Yeah. Okay. Animal. Boise State. I don't know what kind of stuff's there. They're near the mountains there too. I think some. It's kind of valley.
Mm-hmm.
Is it some sort of stag or deer or something?
On the right track.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A elk?
No.
No.
Yeah, you're getting away now.
Bronco.
Bronco.
Boise State Broncos.
These stupid
Sorry, I
teams
thought that
and
was
their
your official guess.
horses.
It's my bad.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
we've got.
I didn't get it.
All right, we've got two more.
Two more.
I wouldn't have guessed another horse. To be honest.
It's our
Okay.
game.
Yeah. Ohio State.
Ohio.
I don't think you'll get that one.
No.
No. Ohio.
I'll give you a handshake if you get that
It's
one.
it's a good candy. I'll give you that.
No, it's a good candy.
Good candy. Carmelo. I like those.
The nickname of the state. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, it's a nickname of the state. Yeah.
And it's a candy.
I'm
That's
not
candy.
sure that I know what a payday.
Yeah. No.
I have no idea.
The Ohio
Candy.
State, just throw one out there.
Taffy.
Ohio State. Close. The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Buckeyes. Oh yeah. Those things I had the other day.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the Buckeye State.
Buckeye.
All right.
Also,
Last one.
A Buckeye is totally a nut. Also, are you
It
sure
is. It's a nut.
It's not named after the nut.
It's
or
named
is-
after
Yeah,
the
it's
nut.
named after the nut.
It's named
Oh,
after
okay.
the nut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, candy throw you off too much?
Yeah.
It's all
okay.
right.
It's all good. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Last one. Tennessee.
Well, that's that hound dog.
Well,
That's the mascot.
Yeah, it's not the.
That's not the nickname. Now that's the mascot.
The nickname. I mean, we're the
Blue
volunteer-
tick hound to be exact.
We're the volunteer state.
Yep,
That's,
there you go. It's-
Is
so
that
what
it?
are we?
Yeah, we're the volunteers. Okay.
Yeah, that's right, boy. There you go.
That was too easy.
Hey, you got some of those though.
Yeah, you did.
You got Texas. You got Tennessee.
Well,
you
some
got
of those made
Arizona.
sense.
Oh wait, no, we did miss one.
What?
A. Last one.
Arkansas.
No.
Oh, Alabama.
Alabama.
Fuck Alabama.
Oh,
fuck
oh my
Alabama.
God. Oh. Incest. No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
We can leave it at that.
I'm sorry. Sweet.
Kind of odd one. That'd be a hard one too.
Alabama. Is this an animal?
No.
So their mascot's an animal, but their nickname isn't an animal.
Roll Tide. Is that them?
That's half of it.
Roll.
You got the last half.
No.
We'll give them the
Tide,
last half.
tide.
They're the tide.
What kind of tide?
What kind of tide?
High tide. Do they get high tide down there? No. Roll Tide. I don't know. I don't get that.
It's a color.
It's a color.
I mean, they're red, aren't they?
Yeah,
They are.
but
It's a type
kinda
of red. We're giving you some clues here.
Indigo. Say blood red. Blood.
All eyes are on you.
Yeah, I know. I'm really searching it right now.
Mhm.
I want to get it right. I don't understand what this has to do with Tide.
I don't know if anyone does.
Yeah.
Kind of explain it.
Do they?
Huh?
Do they?
Well, it's just like a bunch of that.
Well, yeah.
You got tide of that color.
I know, but why that color? Just because it's their color?
I get. I don't know where the origin of the color came
Is
from.
it as a
in school.
maroon? Maroon Tide? No.
Close-ish.
I don't really know colors of red too much.
You give up.
Hold on, I'm looking for divine intervention.
You got Sun Devils, dude. I'm proud of you for that one.
Matt's over here helping.
I still don't know it. Charades are not very good right now. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It starts with a C. Color red that starts with a C.
Color red that starts with a C. Color red that starts with a C. Color red. I don't know.
It's a coral tide.
Coral tide?
Yeah.
It's a coral
I
tide,
was
dude.
Struggling
Yeah.
with that.
Never get that.
No, I wouldn't have. So, like, they barely have any kind of, like, coastal front down there.
They do. I don't know why they would even go with
Like,
that.
what's going on? Where'd you guys get that?
It's not that. It's the Crimson Tide.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
So they're the Crimson Tide. Their color's crimson, and their mascot's an elephant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where the elephant comes, but Roll Tide. No, I'm
Republicans.
sorry. I take that
It
back.
was
Roll Tide.
it's from Irwin.
Yeah, red for Republicans, deep red state.
It's got to be.
All right, that was
I would have
good.
never guessed that.
No, it was
Elephant?
fun. An elephant. I know. An elephant.
Crimson Tide?
Yep.
Is that it? They just like, I like red.
Yep.
Yeah, I like red.
I like red.
And my sister.
And fuck Auburn.
Fuck off, dude. That one doesn't make sense to me. They're the Tigers, but they're War
Eagles, yeah.
Pick an animal.
I know. It's like, come on, man.
I have the spirit of a war eagle, but
Yeah.
my body is of a tiger.
It is. Sounds very native when you put it that way.
Yeah. Trying to help out whoever that is.
All right, we'll wrap up. Good episode, boys. All right. See you next time.
See ya.